The transit system has become part of the shelter network. People are supposed to be using transit to get to their destination. Unfortunately, with what society's dealing with right now, the transit system has become their destination for housing, and we all need to recognize that. Whether it's a subway station that's unfortunately being used as housing, or whatever intermittent stops or terminal endpoints that have been used for housing, we need people to understand that the funding is needed to help those people in crisis.
Myself and Fitzroy are part of the community engagement unit. I've been on this unit for about a year. When I first started in Special Constable, the one thing I observed was that, a lot of the issues we had with the underhauls on the system was kind of like a revolving door, where we get them to leave the station, right? And then they'll be back in the next day or just after, whether it be doing drugs, or being disorderly, or just being on the system loitering. I wanted to know what the city is doing to help this situation. So being part of the community engagement unit, we work with all these different organizations, Streets to Homes, Toronto Housing, MDOT, Loft, the BIA. And now with these partnerships that we have, even Toronto Police, the NCOs, Neighborhood Community Officers, we can try to help these people now, not be on the system, but get the supports that they need.
I think we've become a society who's kind of turned a blind eye to homelessness, and people see someone passed out on the train, they turn a blind eye to it. But our job at SkyTrain here is to make sure that everyone is riding safe and taken care of. So it is our job as well to make sure that everyone is safe on the trains.
I truly feel that if our teams had just access to more shelter beds, access to more places that people can go and don't have to be told they have to leave, because a lot of the responses we have to tell folks, unfortunately, that they can't no longer stay in that certain time and place. They said, where else am I going to go? Eventually, they have to leave the TTC and find somewhere else to go, another park bench and this, whereas every individual should have a place to go and a warm place to sleep and feel safe.
The biggest thing that could help our teams is more supportive housing. So supportive housing where they have staff on site 24/7 offering support and with addictions, mental health, possibly supporting with medication, harm reduction supplies. There's been examples of folks who go into housing and it fails completely just because they're not taught those simple habitual stuff that you and I would do, cleaning up, keeping the noise levels down. So I feel like a lot of people get evicted for reasons that could be supported.
Il faut comprendre aussi qu'il y a des personnes qui sont dans les stations de métro de l'ouverture à la fermeture. Ils passent la journée dans les stations de métro. Puis l'itinérance, ça peut être plus proche qu'on pense. Ça peut être n'importe quelle personne qui peut se retrouver en situation d'itinérance. Puis ça, il faut que les gens comprennent que c'est des personnes comme vous et moi, puis qu'ensemble, on peut faire une différence, vraiment.
When transit agencies open up their shelters, their stations and their buses, in inclement weather, in extreme cold or extreme heat, those are Band-Aid measures. Those aren't actually addressing the issues. And so as public transit workers, we say that we don't get involved in the social arena. However, it does intersect with us, and we need to have those discussions on a national level and how we're going to mitigate some of those situations.